Hi, my name is Judy. I'm a producer here at Nozomi Entertainment, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Sayonara Zetsubou-Sensei. This is a title that we announced a few years back. Well, not a few years, maybe a year or two. But we ran into trouble right off the bat, as is fitting of a show named after despair. There are no more existing scripts in Japan. They've been lost. So when we sent it to our translator, he had to do everything by ear, which, if you've ever translated anything, that's very difficult, and this show is very fast and quick with its words. So, but he made it through that. He made it through it in one piece, and so now we've started our side of the production on the title. So if you're familiar with Zetsubou-Sensei, one of the show's quirks is that there is a lot of on-screen text in the show. Like if they're in the classroom, as every shot, as you see, with every scene change, there'll be new text on the blackboard. Sometimes it's jokes, sometimes it's strange little notes from the author, but there's always something new on the screen. And so we are doing our best to translate every single one of these little pieces of text and put them on the screen in the subs for you to read. So one thing with subtitling is that when there are sign subs on the screen, which is what we would call this text in the background, and then when people speak, you might think that the sign just sits there while the sub's going on and off while people speak, and then that's the end of it. But that's not actually quite how it works. Every time someone speaks, a new subtitle is put on the screen, completely new. And every time someone stops speaking, that subtitle that was previous there is taken away. So that means that when you have a sign sub, when it begins, this is subtitle number 1, then she begins to speak. This is subtitle number 2. It's an entirely different one. This is subtitle number 3, subtitle number 4. So every time someone starts and stops, the sign sub in the background needs to be recreated every single time. So what might seem like a small amount of subs is actually quite a large amount of subs. At this point, right now, we're putting everything in that we can. One thing that we'll need to be aware of down the road is that when it comes to Blu-ray, there's actually a buffer on how many subtitles you could have running at once. So we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But one way or another, we're going to get all of the Zetsubou text to you, the viewer. There's a small scene in episode 1 where the counselor is cleaning out her ear. And she says like, oh man, this could be a habit. And then I can tell you exactly, for exactly 1 second, there's all this text that appears on the screen and then it disappears.
Hi, Sensei.
And unless you pause, you won't know what it is. Well, we paused, and it's a giant information dump about sweat glands. So there you go. You will have that all to read when you watch episode 1 of Zetsubou-Sensei. One little tidbit that we've discovered as we're digging into Zetsubou-Sensei here is that this man's face keeps showing up. You'll see him all throughout the show, and we're like, who is this? And we looked him up. His name is, well, his stage name, I guess you could say, is Maidax. He's the original manga author. It's his assistant. And they've just peppered him throughout the show. He seems like a really great guy. He's got his own YouTube channel. Look him up if you want to. But yeah, that's Maidax. Say hello, you will see him a lot. For Zetsubou-Sensei, we do have the entire show. So we have all 3 seasons, plus the 2 short OVAs that come between season 2 and after season 3. Yeah, so we will release all of it. We're subbing all of it. We've translated all of it. And Zetsubou stop, but we will get through it for you. So we are still in the early stages here with Zetsubou-Sensei on production, but we're going to keep going through it. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to know about Zetsubou-Sensei, feel free to leave them in the comments, and maybe we'll address them in a future episode. And yeah, hope you enjoy.